Hey y'all, it's time for another pot tobacco review. Autumn Evening by Cornell and Diehl. Man, I sure like Cornell and Diehl. They put out some good blends. I've reviewed a couple of them, and I smoke a pretty good bit of them. And they're nice. I really appreciate Cornell and Diehl for what they do. So this is an awesome red Virginia Cavendish blend. It's an aromatic, and just like the name says, Autumn Evening, I feel like that's really what it's good for. That's when I smoke it. I smoke it now that it started to cool off, sort of late in the evening after supper. I fire up a bowl and it's getting darker earlier. The nights are just a tad cooler, and it goes really good. It's an aromatic, and it's definitely topped. I might even would say heavily topped. The toppings are mostly maple, but some other things, and we'll talk about that. But let's go ahead and get us a jar note real quick. This is one of the best jar notes that I've ever smelled. My. That's really good. So this is pretty much a straight Virginia, but you know, this is funny. It's weird how sometimes inside in my home, when I'm smelling a jar, I get a jar note inside. It can smell one way. It smells delightful. I come outside, way out here in the woods, out here in the middle of nowhere, with all these other smells around, and the air is different temperatures and stuff. It smells totally different out here. Wow. So right off, I'm getting maple, and that's like one of the heaviest notes you're gonna get on the smell. I think that's one of the heaviest toppings is the maple. But man, out here now, so this jar, this is the date. So we're coming up on a 10-12, coming up on a year for this jar. So these Virginias have got some age on them, and I can tell it. Okay, so maple, I get like butter, like buttered pancakes. I get that. I'm also getting out here outside, I'm getting like a nice bread note, which I wasn't really getting so much inside, and I wouldn't say I've got before with this jar note. This is really the first time I brought it outside and kind of sniffed it out here in the woods. But yeah, out here I can smell that bread, and it's good. Get a little bit of fruitiness, like a sort of red Virginia fruitiness. A little bit of caramel, almost like a caramel apple, because of that caramel with that fruitiness. Maple, caramel, a little bit of fruitiness, a little bit of bread, butter, and some alcohol. I get an alcohol out of this. There's an alcoholic note to the jar note in this. It smells good. It smells great. So let's go ahead and got a pipe packed here, Missouri Meerschaum. And this pretty much has become Autumn Evening's pipe for me. I don't know if it's the shape. It's sort of got almost like a pumpkin shape. And I don't know, it packs good in here, smokes good in here. So I'm gonna fire it up. We'll talk about blend some more, and I'll tell you what I'm tasting. What kind of mood it puts me in, frame of mind it puts me in. So yeah, right off the bat, getting like maple butter pancakes. There's that bread, the maple, that buttery taste. It just tastes like buttered maple pancakes. Very delightful. So they claim, Jeremy Reeves claims that this is their best-selling blend. Not just their best-selling aromatic, their best-selling blend overall. And I believe it. It's really, really good. Even though it's heavily topped, even though it's a heavy aromatic, the Virginias come through very well in this. I almost always taste tobacco, you know, in every puff. You're not just tasting topping. Now you're getting a lot of topping, but Red Virginia and Virginia Cavendish. Now, I guess what they do is they call it their proprietary Virginias, and they put them through the, I guess, the Cavendish, Cavendish is a process, and I guess they Cavendish these Virginias, and it does something to them. It's sweet. So they claim this is their best-selling blend. It's a coarse cut. It's really a ribbon, but it is a coarser. It is a coarser ribbon. It's not hard to deal with it, although it packs fine. Moisture, I would say, it may have came moist. I don't remember for sure. Like I said, this tin's a year old. This jar's a year old. Right now, it's perfect. It's burning great. I've never experienced a problem with the burn rate. Even if it was moist right out of the tin, I've always had it burn fine. It's a very agreeable blend. It burns well. If you stop puffing for a few seconds, a little bit, a minute or so, it comes back. It comes back pretty easy. It wants to burn. It's easy to work with, which is nice, being as it tastes so good and it's so heavily topped. You know, it still burns really well. So I love the tin art. This is straight off the tin. It says, our proprietary red Virginia Cavendish is delicately cased with natural maple, resulting in our best-selling aromatic blend. Autumn evenings' captivatingly nuanced complexity will stimulate the smoker, while those nearby will be entranced by the inviting fragrance. And that is true. My wife loves when I smoke this blend inside. This is her favorite pipe tobacco that I smoke, period. She's always down for me to smoke this if I feel like smoking it inside. Like, as long as I open a window, she's fine with it. She loves the way this smells. So it comes in 2-ounce tins, 8-ounce tins, 16-ounce tins, and bulk. So lots of ways to get this one. Yeah. This tobacco, this pipe tobacco, tastes very much the way it smells. It's a little spicy. Like on the retro hill, I get a little bit of a slight tingle from it, and which is nice. I like that. And as you go down the bowl, it gets a little spicy. I guess just, you know, the Virginias they're using, they get a little spicy as you go down, which is, I like that. I'm okay with it. Yeah, it tastes just like it smells. What you get in the nose when you smell it, how lovely it smells, you're gonna get that in the smoke. A lot of it's gonna transfer. I taste caramel, I taste maple, I taste butter, I taste like a red fruitiness. I don't get as much bread in the smoke. The bread was more in the smell and the jar note. I don't get so much of that bread note in the smoke. A little bit, but it's more sort of a spicy Virginia taste. It does taste like autumn. it's got that going for it. I like that a lot about it. It just sort of puts you in that cool weather, almost spooky mood, if you can dig that. Because it's sort of got that caramel apple taste. There's that caramel fruitiness. So, Cornell and Diehl, awesome company. I love a lot of their blends. And they have their own YouTube channel, and it's pretty cool. Y'all can check it out if you'd like to. Cornell and Diehl on YouTube. And they have their head blender is a guy named Jeremy Reeves, and I've watched a lot of his presentations, and super laid back, down to earth. Seems like a really chill, really smart, really passionate about tobacco type of dude. And I love watching his any of the presentations he does about blending tobaccos. And then whenever they put out a small batch blend, he'll do a video. And he recently made a video discussing the difference between blends that are cased and blends that are topped. Casing and topping, and it was really interesting. And Cornell and Autumn Evening is one that is absolutely, definitely topped. And he named off several blends that were cased and several blends that were topped, just so to give you an idea of the difference and which ones did which. And Autumn Evening, of course, is topped, and he had like 3 blends there that were topped blends, and it had them listed on screen, and it also had listed what they were topped with. This one, Autumn Evening, this is what was listed as the toppings, and this is coming from Jeremy Reeves himself, who is the blender. So this is straight from the horse's mouth. Maple, caramel, vanilla, and Scotch. So the Scotch is where the alcohol is coming from, and you totally get that. I'm not a Scotch drinker. I'm not really familiar with so much with the taste of Scotch, but I definitely get an alcohol, and it is a very sort of basic alcohol. It's not whiskey. It's not rum. It's just alcoholic, and it adds a nice layer to this blend. I like it a lot. Tobacco Reviews lists a lot of other things as toppings. They list maple, they list fruit, they list, it's like six things. Rum is another one that they list. Now, like I say, from that presentation, I took that pretty much as hardline what this blend is topped with. Again, it was maple, caramel, vanilla, and Scotch. Nicotine, I'd say there's some to be had. If I smoke this really fast, really hard, do a lot of retrohaling, I will definitely feel it, which is nice. Sometimes I'm looking for a little nicotine, but it's not anything that's gonna, knock you out. It's just something that helps it to be a well-rounded blend. It tastes great, it burns good, and it also has a little nicotine for you. It's also a straight Virginia, so it's going to age well. Sometimes they say aromatics don't age that good because the topping can dissipate and sort of change the blend. It won't taste as sweet, or you won't taste the topping as much as it ages. But I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about that with this blend. And it is a Virginia, so I feel like they're not going to do anything but just mature, even with a year. It's really smooth. It's mellow. But as you go, it's spicy. It's got a little bit of a spice. It's nice. So Pipes and Cigars states that this the blending process takes 3 days. It's a 3-day blending process for this tobacco, whatever that means. Sounds labor intensive. Well, this is just a great blend. This is one of those pipe tobaccos. When I smoke it, it reminds me why I'm doing this. It reminds me why I got into this hobby. This blend tastes great. It smells great. It's got a great mouthfeel. Um, it's just an all-around awesome blend. I definitely recommend it. If you don't like aromatics, I still think you might enjoy this. It's heavily topped. You're gonna get that maple. You're gonna get that caramel. You may get a little bit of that vanilla, but it's a straight Virginia, so there are still tobacco qualities there that are to be appreciated. Seems like it's always available. Yep, I absolutely love this blend, and I recommend it. Now, I will say that this blend, to me, I have sort of personally compared this blend with another similar blend. That blend being Sleepy Hollow by Strauss. To me, this is better. Now, Sleepy Hollow is different. Sleepy Hollow is different. Sleepy Hollow has some things this one doesn't have. Sleepy Hollow has cinnamon and pumpkin spice and nutmeg and those kinds of flavors, and they're there. It's heavily topped. It's got all that along with a little bit of maple, a little bit of caramel, and it's definitely got like a Halloweeny taste. But to me, this is better. I feel like the tobaccos in this are really good. The Virginias are really good, and the topping is a little different. But I favor this blend. If you were to compare these two as two sort of heavy-hitting autumn or Halloween blends, I would definitely pick the Autumn Evening. I really appreciate Cornell and Diehl putting in the effort and the care and the work that they do to bring us these blends. Jeremy Reeves seems like a super laid back guy. Be really cool to talk to, probably smoke a pipe with, and I just hope he keeps doing what he's doing. Well, thank y'all so much for watching this review. I really appreciate it. I've never even smoked this blend in a briar. I've always only smoked it in a cob. It goes really good in this cob. Give it a try. Feel free to drop a comment if you've already smoked this blend. If you like it, let us know what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel. Like this content if you dig it. If you don't mind, maybe tell a couple other pipe smokers about this channel. Okay, we'd really appreciate that. Well, we will see y'all next time out here in the woods for a nice, quiet pipe.